Really quick, if you guys are at a restaurant and let's say there's kids running around being very belligerent, parents aren't doing anything, at that point, do you say something to the parents, to the kids, or do you just keep shut?
What do you mean?
So there's kids that are at a table next to you, keep bumping into you. You're eating at a restaurant. They're knocking things over. They're screaming. They're yelling. Parents are talking to their friends. Do you just sit there?
Yes.
See why in that situation?
Because that's what I hate. My brother and I were at you're gonna hate this place, but we were at El Cholo. El Cholo.
Oh, the Mexican restaurant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On 6th
Hey,
Street.
I respect the history of El Cholo. I just am not sold on the food. Is that an okay compromise for you?
I love the food.
I think it's very historic. I think that
I love the food. I love the food.
it's just not my jam. It's like there's so many awesome Mexican places
I understand
here,
that, baby.
and mom and pop shops.
But they're fucking chimichangas.
Chimichanga.
The chicken chimichangas are the best on planet Earth. They are. They're very good. The shredded tinga chicken, I love it. My brother and I were eating chinga chicken. Chinga chicken.
Shout out to all our
My brother and I were eating
viewers.
chinga
Chinga
tinga.
Chinga ticken.
Chinga tinga.
We're opening a food truck, guys. Check it out.
And enjoying ourselves. And when my brother and I, we talk like, sailors.
Sure.
Fuck that guy. We just, and we had a lady come up to her at the table and go, excuse me, will you not, use that profanity? My grandchildren are here. And my brother and I go, sorry. And we just whispered the whole way, but no more. I'm no longer doing that anymore.
That's why I proposed that situation. Say the kids are next to you, bumping into you at the point where they're knocking down your glasses. See, like, switch it around. Why wouldn't you tell them, like, hey, kids, sit the fuck down? Like,
because I think my point of view is, when you're at a table in a restaurant, regardless of what's happening, just mind your own fucking business.
I agree with Bobby because in my head, the reason I would never say anything, it's like, you know what? It's hard enough to have kids. It's the same reason why I don't say anything and I grin and bear when like a child is kicking the back of my seat in an airplane for 17 hours. Like one time on a flight to Melbourne, it was like a 15-hour flight, right? There was not only a crying kid, like a toddler, just straight up kicking my back the whole way through, but the woman on the aisle seat was about 350 pounds, so I couldn't get up to pee. So I politely told her that I was just like, don't worry about it. I'm just going to crawl over you each time. It was the worst flight of my life. But I just don't say anything because I always just imagine it's probably harder for the parent back there. And it's probably harder for the woman next to me. Like, I'm young, I'm fine, nothing's really happening. And I just really kind of like, it bothers me, but probably not as much as they're bothered.
the parents, yeah.
The parents, so I'm just like, whatever. Kids, like that's the one thing that I love about the Philippines, that I have a fear of raising kids here versus raising them in the Philippines because there's so much like shame and rules when it comes to parenting here. Like in the Philippines, like your kid could be screaming, just being a kid, and then there are no repercussions. Over here, it's like, silence your child, like take control of your child. And it's like, it's a fucking 1.5-year-old, man. Like,
Yeah, but what if in the Philippines, I've seen this where a mother is dragging, their child by their hair
In the restaurant.
across, a Target, right?
yeah.
It is at that point. Do I say, excuse me, don't drag your child by your hair, or do we mind our own business there?
That's a
No,
weird-
if a child is being harmed and abused and like, no, I would absolutely intervene. I'd be like, what the fuck, lady? That's a kid. I would say something then. I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm going to call somebody if you don't stop doing that.
Yeah, but I don't think I would do that.
I would. That's fucked up. If you're not going to go help a child who's obviously being harmed in that way. But you know what? There have been situations legitimately where like it's not our place.
Okay, let me give you a scenario.
Make it good.
I think it's going to be very good. Let me throw it to you, Gilbert.
Cool.
You're at a restaurant by yourself, and you see a friend of yours. Let's call him Tommy G.